Brian.
It is the 8th of November, and this is Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
Line. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to start. And we are, we're going to do the Mishnah. We're going to go over the Mishnah again and understand it better. And then we're going to see what we'll do after that. Oh, with the Rashi, of course. So we go to Alan to read the words of the Mishnah, please.
Okay. 100b. Hey, no stain, tzemer, the same war. If one gives wool to a dyer to dye for him, the cho yoror, and the cauldron burned it, notain lo, demay some row, the dyer pays him the value of the wool. If he dyed it poorly, im ha-shevach yoser al hayitsid, or to the wool exceeds expenses of the dyeing, notain lo es hayitseor, the owner pays the dyer the expenses, but not his fee. Be'im hatzi or teor al shevach, but if the expenses of the dyeing exceeds the improvement to the wool, notain lo es shevach, the owner pays him only for the improvement.
Only for the improvement. Okay. Whose turn is it to read? Whoever wants to read Rashi.
I'm going to read the Rashi. You want to do it alone? I'll start. We can take over in the middle. The hidichu yore, which means sarafta yore, the vat burned it. Sheheritiach yoter midai, because it was boiling too much. You know, it's a whole cauldron in a vat. You're dyeing in it, and you overheated it, and that's what caused it to burn.
Guess what? That reminds me, I have something that's heating up right now. I have to turn it off.
You better before you have a problem.
So you're still on silent, just so you know.
To damage the wool on the part of the dyer? Or is this just a oversight? He left it on too long. We're not told over here. Rashi just says the person that was in charge of the vat, he heated it up more than he should have. But it doesn't really indicate that he did it on purpose. It could be that it was an oversight, a negligence. He forgot about it. Okay. So okay, that's the Rashi, and then the next Rashi, no sin lo demay. Louis, want to read that?
Okay. Let's see. This is the Rashi I'm reading.
Yes, second Rashi.
Okay.
Second arrow.
Hossein lo demei tamro. He gives him the value of the wool. V'hachi leka shvacha klal dehai nisraf legamre v'leka lememar im ha shevach yoter. Okay, so here it's not the value at all.
Improvements. There's no improvement at all. The shevach is the amount that it increases.
There's no improvement at all.
You burnt it.
That this burning, it burned completely, and you could not say that it improved very much.
Yeah, in other words, in this first case, since there was no improvement because he burnt it completely, so Rashi says lekla memar, you cannot say ima shevach yoter if the improved value exceeded the amount of the expenses that was involved, or the other way around, really, because there was no shevach whatsoever. Unlike the second case that the Gemora is going to go into, with the what happened over there, that he did a poor job of the dyeing, and so he didn't do a good job. But nevertheless, the wool was improved more than it had not, if it had not been dyed whatsoever. So then that's why the Mishnah talks over there about, well, let's see if the improved value of the is greater than the expenses, so then he just gives him the lesser amount, and the other way around, he always gives him the lesser amount. Doesn't so that's what we said so far. Let's see the next Rashi. Im hashevach. I think that is the Rashi on the case of Savoy Kaur, that he.
You skip one.
What?
Samo Kaor.
Oh yeah, oh that one, right. Okay, good. I didn't see that one. Yeah.
Okay, so what is Kaor?
He did it.
Well,
Yeah, he did it in a very yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Unseemly way.
Unseemly. Okay. Kamo Kaor Bigamre Mefarish.
the Gemara. That's the abbreviation of Gemara.
Migamar is
It's a chick. It's an abbreviation in the Gemara.
oh,
Gemara. The Gemara Mefaresh. The Gemara is going to explain it.
The Gemara will explain. Tzavao Beshire Tzava V'chazik Bechuna Hu Lefifach Yado Al His Chasuna Divrei Hakol.
Right.
So it's like that it was ruined. And the Gemora explains what is Shetzavo?
That he dyed it.
He dyed it. Seba is the color. He's dyeing it.
The
He's
dyeing.
dyeing.
And what's Bashire? The amount?
It's like remnants. It's like the leftovers of the Seba.
Yeah, like
He
the
took
dregs.
the stuff that's around. He didn't take first quality stuff. He took just whatever stuff he had. And because he did it with this lousy, the remains, he didn't take new paint. He took gold paint.
I thought the customer gave him the wool.
That's the wool. We're talking about the dye. He used inferior dye.
He used inferior dye. Oh, I see. The dyeing was with inferior dye, and he damaged. What is bechuna?
The kavana, intentionally. He did it damage. He intentionally damaged. It wasn't just something that was unintentional. He intentionally dyed it with these things. It didn't just happen.
Therefore, his hand was on what is this word? He's chas ona.
Tachtona. It's the bottom one. He gets the worst. With two people, when you talk about who gets what, if there are two claimants, he's the one who gets the lesser of the claim. His hand is on the. It's an expression saying he's the one who loses out on the deal. His hand is on the bottom of it. He gets the least amount.
According to everybody.
Yeah.
So in other words,
it didn't matter which opinion it is.
It's the Gemara explains that this is a case where he tried to get away with the cheapest stuff, and therefore it's considered as if he did it intentionally ruined the product, and therefore he's going to get the worst off of the situation. Everybody agrees to this.
Right, because we're going to see later on in the Gemara, later on in the Mishnah even, that the Mishnah mentions Rabbi Yehuda. So it would seem that before Rabbi Yehuda comes on the scene, it's Rabbi Meir mentions also before this case here of Tzavo Kaor doesn't mention any opinion of Rabbi Meir or Rabbi Yehuda. So it sounds like that's Rashi's saying that's because it's Divrei Hakol. Everybody agrees that that's the din in the case where he does this, and Rashi's explaining the reason is because he was a mazik b'kavanah. He was an intentional damager. He knew that he was taking the dregs of the dyeing material. He knew that this was using the worst materials that was what there was available. He could have done. It wasn't a mistake, an oversight, or just not paying attention. Whatever amount is the smaller amount, that's what he's going to get. Whether the improved amount, whether the expenses, he's gonna be given the lowest amount for his services. Okay. So now this next Rashi ve'im hashebach.
Ve'im hashebach, and if the value
improvement, Shebach is improvements.
If the improvement she hashbiach hatzemer yoter al hayit Tzia shel tseva. So that the what is this word hashpiach?
It's improvement. It's the same word. The improvement, the amount that the amount that it improved.
That word is a verb. That's a verb.
It's a verb.
The shevach is a noun, and the hashpiach
is
is
the-
the verb.
Oh,
the verb
so
saying
if he
how it
improved
improved.
the wool more, then what is this word? He tzia.
Hayitzias means expenses. More than that means basically more than the value of the wool. More
More
the
than
value of the more than the cart, more than his expenses. Like
How
that was
much
the
did
value
he?
of the cart.
How much did the dyer spend on the dye, on the heat, and the wood that heated up the bats? That's his outlay in producing the dye on the wool. That's called the yitzia, the outlay.
Okay, so if he improved it more than the amount of the cost that it cost him to do the work, then that's this case.
Right? In that event, the Mishnah says, no saying low, the customer gives him the yitzia, the lower amount.
Which
That's
is the cost.
Which is the cost. Yeah, he pays him for the cost that it cost him.
Right.
And I believe there's a Rashi over here. No saying low.
No saying low. He gives to him. Litzeva es hayitzia velo schar shalem umekabel tamro vidame tamro lo amar de nichiv de lechni ihu shevacha de temer deha bitava shehachni imo teva veleka shenie de nikne. Okay, this is a long one. So if the improvement, what is this hayitzia? We had that before.
Fences.
Fences?
The outlay, the expenses.
Oh, expenses. Expenses. And he does not get rewarded completely.
He doesn't get a fee. That's it. He doesn't get his wages, so to speak.
Right.
He just gets the expenses of doing it, but not his personal fee for doing it.
And he receives the wool and the value of the wool. We don't say what is this denichiv?
You give him.
We don't say that we give him it's not the value of the wool. We don't say that we give him What is the leka? What does the leka mean? It's not the value of the wool?
No, the likni ihu shivcha the tzemer, that he acquired the improved amount of the tzemer, of the wool.
Don't say that he acquired the improved amount of the wool. That this
No, he did. Likni doesn't mean don't. Likni means that he acquired it.
that he acquires the
That's
value, the improved value.
Yeah, that's why he doesn't pay for the actual value of the Rashi's explaining over here, Udemet Samro loy Omar. It doesn't say that oh, one second. Oh, this is getting complicated, especially when Rashi doesn't tell us which one he's talking about. He assumes that you can figure that out. I got cut off over there, so I have to go back to the beginning and see what it says over here for a second. Noslin lo letzava. The customer gives to the dyer es hayetzia. He gives him just his expenses. Velo schar sholem, and he does not give him the agreed upon schar for the job. Right? The guy probably told him, okay, I'll do you the job for let's say, tell him I'm going to do it for him for I don't know, whatever the amount was. That he doesn't get paid the full agreed upon amount for the job. That's what he gets. He gets his expenses. Umakabel samro, and he receives his wool, his dyed wool. This inferior dyed wool, he receives it. Who's the he that Rashi is talking about over here?
The worker, the dyer. The dyer is not receiving his fee for it. He's just receiving whatever expenses he put out for it.
You sure? How do you know?
Well, that's what it says. He doesn't. The low schar shalem. He doesn't receive his complete fee.
No saying.
He receives the wool and the value and its value. But you don't say that he acquires it and he's now got the improvement of it.
No, I don't think so. I think it's the other way around. We're saying that he gets his the dyer gets his expenses, and the wool goes back to the customer.
Yeah, really the subject of the sentence is the customer. No saying low, he gives to him, meaning to the tzava. Rashi identifies that, Baruch Hashem. What does he give him? His expenses. Velo schar sholem, but he doesn't give him the full price for the job. Umakabel samro, and he gets his semer back. I think it's going on the customer. The customer gets the this wool back. Then what do we say over here? Udemeit samro.
That's the value of the wool.
Shivcha de tzemer. That he acquires the improved value of the semer. So that whole statement over there, Rashi didn't tell us who it is that he's talking about. It's a bit confusing. I would like to just read until the end of the Rashi and see if we could figure out who's the he that Rashi is referring to over here. So you want to go from Daha, but Sabah.
And this tzava is the wool.
The dyer.
This the dyer. This that the dyer that shehachana that it rests with him that he has the wool tzava veleka sheniya and it's not that he acquires it.
Yeah, because with shinui, it's a change. You're saying that there's no change because there's an improvement. That the wall did change. You don't say that the whatchamacallit acquire that the dyer does a shevach and therefore he acquires that wool. The wool still belongs to the owner. There's no change. That means he gets it now.
I don't know what he means over here. I really don't know. I see the last thing that he said, Leke Shinuya Deniknia. There's no shinu over here that he had that such that he should acquire with that shinui that the dyer made in the wool. So
what case is this? Is this the case where he dyed it poorly?
I think so. That's I think so.
Because that's odd because it says if he dyed it poorly, if the improvement, blah, blah. So that says there is a shinui.
And the fact that he improved it a certain amount means that there's a shinui?
Right.
Well, if the Rashis are in order, the Rashi after this Rashi, Litzvoa lo Adom, is the case after the case of Tzavo Kaur, where he used inferior materials.
Okay.
Right? So it would seem that this Rashi Nosin Lo is going, if it's in order, assuming that it is, looks like it is, it's going on the case of Tzavo Kaur.
Right. So I'm confused because it's saying that there's an improvement. Granted, it's a small improvement, but nevertheless, it's an improvement. So why don't we say that there is a shinui, there is a change, and therefore he does acquire it?
Yeah, this is what Rashi, I believe, is trying to explain, that based upon what we said, that Rashi said Makabel Samro, that he receives his wool, is referring to the customer, meaning that the make Samro lo Omar. It does not say the made Samro the Nasiv, that he has to give him. The dyer, in other words, in the first case, what happened? The dyer totally ruined and burned the wool. So in that case, there was no shevach, there was no improved value to talk about, such that he would be paid either for the improved amount that he gave, or for his expenses. He just gives to the customer back the value monetary value of the wool that the customer gave to him to dye. So that was the case of where he burnt it. Now we're talking about he didn't burn it, but he dyed it with inferior material. So like this, we say, what's the din? The din in the Mishnah is that he gets the guy, he's yado ala tachtona. The dyer's hand is he's got the lower hand, meaning we've got two figures over here. We've got the improved value of the wool as a result of the dye that was absorbed into it, and we got the outlay, the expenses that the dyer had in producing that improved value. So here we're talking about a case where we said if the shebach that the dyer increased the value of the wool was greater than the expenses that he used in making the color. So in that case, the Mishnah told us in that case, so then the customer no saying lo es hayitzia. The customer simply gives to the dyer his expenses, and Rashi told us, and he does not give him the skar sholem, doesn't give him the price for the job. And then he says, and he receives his wool. He receives his wool in return. So now Rashi's talking about demei samro. He's talking about what about the tzemer that was given to him? Loi Omar doesn't mention anything about that. The nesim that the dyer doesn't have to give back that to the guy, to the customer. The customer has acquired the tzemer and its improved value. So there's no basis for demanding the dyer to give back the value of the wool that he was given, because the customer is getting back the wool in its improved value. It is worth more than it was before it was given to him to dye. And then what does Rashi say? The habit seva shehisna imo saba. He daha bitseva shehisna imo saba. With the here in this case, he used even though he used inferior materials, but he used the color that the customer made up with him to use. And like that, Rashi says, lekashinui. Unlike the next case, which you see that he violated the instructions, and the customer told him to dye it one color, and he dyed it a different color. In that case, Rashi says that there was a kinyan with a shinui, at least according to Reb Meir. So Rashi's explaining in this case why the dyer doesn't give back the value of the wool. Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm not following. Could you summarize what you just said, please?
and then we'll go now to the next case of the Mishnah. Litzvoa lo adom.
Rabbi,
Yeah.
I'm not. I didn't follow what you just said when you just explained the Rashi. Could you explain that again or summarize it?
Okay. Okay. Summary is that in this case, the customer gives to the dyer his expenses. He doesn't give him the agreed upon amount for the job, and the customer receives the finished product, such as it is, in return. And
this is the case where he dyed it with inferior dye.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So now and as far as the this next phrase in Rashi, had difficulty reading with it. What we're saying that it means for the time being is we're talking about Rashi's talking about the value of the wool that was given by the customer to the dyer to work with is not mentioned in this din. Not mentioned that the dyer has to give him that, because the likni ihu shivcha detzemer. That would be the reason that the dyer doesn't have to give him the value of the tzemer that he would have had to give him if he would have acquired the tzemer with the improved amounts that he of the tzemer that he caused, because he didn't make a shinui. There was no shinui to allow him to be kona, the dyer. Why was there no shinui? Because he used the color that used the stipulated color.
Okay, so that's where I'm confused. What does it mean? I thought a shinui means that there was a change to the wool.
Yeah, so I'm saying now that the shinui is Rashi's understanding that the shinui that we're talking about, that he would acquire the thing with and then have to pay for it, is if he violated the instructions of what color dye to color it with.
So shinui doesn't mean just change; it means a change from the agreement.
Okay, maybe that's what maybe that's what we're saying now. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay, we got 2 minutes left. Let's go to the case. Bill, you want to read the Mishnah, this case?
Let's see where we're starting at this one. We're up to Litzavo Adam and Vitzavo Shechor. That case we're going to do.
Yeah.
If he told him to dye it red and he dyed it Vitzavo Shechor, he dyed it black, or Shechor Vitzavo Adam, or he's told to dye it black and he dyed it red. Now here we have two different opinions. Rabbi Meir said, "No tain lo demei samaro." In each of those cases, Rabbi Meir says you have to give him back the value of his wool, which is parallel to the case of him doing it poorly. Was it poorly or the other case? No, it's like being burnt. It's that kind of case. I guess that's almost saying he did it in. It's almost saying he did it intentionally. He's got to call it quits on that case. That's what Rabbi Meir is saying.
Oh, you mean
But
it's
now-
like the case of what do you call it? It's like the case of burning the wool.
Burning in the vat. Right. It's like you burnt the vat. It's like, hey, you did the wrong thing. I don't want any part of it. You get your wool back.
If
But
you
not
break
Rebbe.
it, you pay for it.
Now, Reb Yehuda compares it to the other case of doing it poorly.
Very good.
If the
Uh-huh.
fruit more than the expenses, no ten low at Yitzia. You give him the expenses only. But
Mhm.
yoter al shevach, but if the expenses were more than the improvement, no tenim low at the shevach. You give him the improvement. He always gets the lower amount back.
Very good.
But this is the case where he did change the color. So shouldn't it be that he acquires the wool?
Both, right. In both cases, the second part of it is talking about him changing the color. But that's the difference between Reb Yehuda and Rabbi Meir. Rabbi Yehuda is saying it's like a poor job, like what was above, why? And the other one is saying, no, it's like you didn't give me what I want. Rabbi Meir says, tough. You gotta give back his whole wool.
But I'm asking why would he give him back his whole wool when he acquires it?
We'll have to read the Gemara to see why that's Rabbi Meir's opinion. If there's any, there is Rashi's on these two things. So, but it's not too late to do that now. So we'll have to do the Rashi's on it tomorrow, and then maybe I'm imagining the Gemara is going to keep asking about this somehow.
Okay, very good. So yeah, in the meantime, just the point is to clarify what is the Mishnah saying, and which case is the Mishnah say everybody agrees to the first case of burning the wool, and everybody agrees to the case of dyeing it with inferior colors. We don't see any machlekes Rebbe Meir and Rebbe Yehuda in either of those first two cases. The third case is the case where we find Rebbe Meir and Rebbe Yehuda arguing about what the din is, and that's the case where he was told to dye it one color and he dyes it a different color. In that case, we got a machlekes Rebbe Meir and Rebbe Yehuda. One compares it to the case of burning. The other one compares it to the case of using the inferior materials. Okay. Great. All the best.
Bye.
Have a good day.
Okay, you too.